Hey there, I'm Amy Connell. Welcome to the Graced Health Podcast. I'm a certified personal trainer who wants you to know your eating, movement, and body don't have to be perfect. You just need to be able to do what you are called to do. This podcast is for women who want simple and grace-filled ways to take care of themselves and enjoy a little chocolate in the process. Welcome to the Ask the Trainer series, or another episode of it, where I answer questions you may have about either your movement or your eating or how they work together in 5 minutes or less. Today's question is, why do trainers sometimes have me hold a stretch and sometimes make me or ask me to move through it? Before I answer that, I really want to get into a little bit more of the details about that. So there are 4 types of stretching. One of them is self-myofascial release, which is also known as foam rolling. That's when you see those big foam rollers. There's a lot of different kinds of them and a lot of different theories on the best way to do that. But foam rolling or self-myofascial release is one type of stretching you can do for your muscles. Another one, which is the one that probably you think of when you think of stretching, is static stretching. So that is holding it for 30 seconds to maybe 2 minutes, about 120 seconds. For whatever it's worth, if you are wanting to increase your flexibility, the recommended amount of time as of the science right now is to hold it for 30 seconds. Why? Because what that does is after 30 seconds, something called Golgi tendon organ, which is at the end of your muscle, it releases. It is there to prevent sudden movement in your muscles and sudden lengthening that it's not ready for, and to prevent injury. So after holding something for 30 seconds, then it gets the message like, oh, we're in a safe spot. We can relax a little bit more. So static stretching is taking a movement and holding it there in that point of tension, not where it's hurting, but where you are feeling that tension for about 30 seconds. Then there is active stretching, which is a little difficult for me to explain, and I'll give you an example here in a second. But basically, it is when you are taking opposing muscles and flexing one at one point, and then which simultaneously releases the other. So the best example I can give you is if you are laying on your back with your feet straight and you lift one straight leg up in the air, and you have a partner who's pressing on your leg, trying to get that down. Now, this is something that I used to do way back in my drill team days back in high school, and I could get that foot to the floor. Right now, I am lucky to get it at a 90-degree angle. That's beside the point. But if your partner is kind of pressing that back, and then if you press into your partner's hand and count, so maybe for like 10 seconds or so, and then release, you will gain more flexibility as you go back. That is called active stretching. That is also called reciprocal inhibition, which is the simultaneous contraction of one muscle and the relaxation of the antagonist, so the opposite muscle, that allows that movement and that flexibility to take place. Then the other type of movement or stretching is dynamic. So I use dynamic stretching a lot in my classes, particularly for warm-ups. These are great to use during warm-ups. So if you are standing on one leg and you're kicking one foot forward and back and forward and back and kind of swinging it, that is an example of dynamic stretching. If you participated on the Facebook Lives with me over the summer and I did hug and love, that is dynamic stretching. So that is really great, again, for the warm-up. Now, to answer the question, why do trainers sometimes have me hold a stretch and sometimes move through it? It's because it has a different intention. All of these are appropriate. All of these are beneficial, but depending on the focus and the goal of the stretch, you may be doing something different. If you're wanting to increase your flexibility, that static stretching is best. If you are wanting to kind of work your muscles out, foam rolling is great. So there's a lot of different ways or different focuses on the types of stretching. And speaking of stretching, if you are over 40 and you need to stretch your body and move your body in different ways, I am really excited to be releasing a video workout series about an ideal week of fitness over 40. I mean, if you're 35, you can do this, but I'm just telling you it's meant for over 40. So sign up to be notified when it's released at gracedhealth.com/fitness-over-40. Okay, that is all for today. Go out there and have a graced day.